Today I'm going to show you how to communicate effectively with your team to help you get more kills and more wins on Warzone. So let's check it out. Hello and welcome everybody, my name is The Scottish Gamer and I create Call of Duty hints, tips and strategy videos designed to help you improve your game. That means higher kills and more wins. I create content every single week to help you improve your game both here on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you want to stay up to date with all of the current strategies, then hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss a video again. Better yet, join me on Twitch every single Wednesday, Thursday and Friday from 10 PM UK time, where we can test out the strategies together live on Warzone. Effective communication works both by non-verbal and verbal cues. The non-verbal communication system inside Warzone is known as pings. You can ping a person, a place or an item simply by pressing up on your controller D-pad. If you ping an enemy player, they'll be highlighted in red. If you ping a location on the map, it will be highlighted in the same colour as your name is displayed on the bottom left hand side of the screen. And if you ping an item that's been interacted with by an enemy player, such as an open door or an open loot box, that will be highlighted in yellow. If you double tap up on your D-pad on a place, that will also be marked as red. That can be useful if you're highlighting where you've seen a player, however they're no longer visible. Unknown to most Warzone players, you can still utilise the ping system when you're downed in game, helping your team win those all-important gunfights. The non-verbal communication system known as pings is so important whether or not you're communicating verbally with your teammates. For example, if you tell me a player's over there, I have no idea where there is. I have no means and no reference to identify where on the map I should be looking. And the same goes for simple things like player on the building, player next to the tree. There are so many trees and so many buildings inside Warzone that you need to narrow down the information so that I can clearly identify where I should be placing my attention. The best methods to do that is simply by using the letters and numbers at the top of your screen. These are a compass that is the same for every player in the game. So if you can clearly identify north, east, south and west, or simple numbers like 74, I know the general direction in which I need to be looking. And better yet, if you can couple that with some verbal communication, such as the blue building or ground floor, that's going to further provide me information that I need to help you win that gunfight as your teammate. So let's clarify some of the terminology inside Warzone to help you communicate effectively. When you're in a gunfight, there is multiple stages of that fight. For example, there's the initial "I've spotted an enemy." At that point, you want to communicate where the enemy players are and how many players there are. For example, 2 players on red ping 79 behind the tree. That's going to give your teammates all the information they need to be able to snap on and clearly identify where the enemy team is and set themselves up to win that gunfight. The next stage is active engagement. When you start to fight with another team, you want to clearly identify what stage each player is. So first of all, you might want to divvy up who's attacking which player. So I'll take the player on the left, or you take the player on the right. Once the bullets start to fly, that's when communication gets even more important. So you want to be able to clearly communicate with your teammates at what stage the player you're attacking is. For example, shots on. Now shots on or hit or anything like that. It's just to identify that you've started to land some bullets on that player. The next stage is knocked, or I've broken their armour. You're simply just letting the team know that that player is in a weakened state and vulnerable to any further attack. The next point is 1 HP, or 1 shot, or weak. That's just to let the player know that their armour's gone, the player is low on health and is ready for just that final kill. The next step is downed, and that is when you've got the player downed but they're not yet dead. That player could have a self-revive or could still be revived by a teammate. And the final stage is dead. That's to let your team know that that player has finished, has been sent to the gulag, or is out the game for good, meaning that they can now assist you with the player that you're engaged with. Now let's take a look at some further frequently used terminology inside Warzone to help you communicate better. So first of all, we have the term gatekeeping. Now gatekeeping is when you hold the edge of the circle and are trying to pick off enemy players who are migrating away from the gas cloud into the next circle. Two players are in an active gunfight and another third team comes along and attacks the rear of one or both of the active engaged fighting teams. Some other frequently used phrases are like push. Now push is simply press in or attack the position. That may be storming into a building where you know players are actively camping or holding down tactical lines of sight. You may also hear hold, which simply means don't push in. It means simply sit back and look for the opportunity for some headshots. Perfect example of this would be a sniper. And last but by no means least, you may hear the term pinch. Now the term pinch simply means that both players or multiple players should go in different directions and attack the team from different directions, meaning that cover is less utilised and that team is at a disadvantage because they don't know where they're being attacked from. If you frequently play with the same team of players, it's also highly beneficial to mark and name certain locations that you frequently visit. For example, you might want to name your favourite drop point as a specific building. For example, my squad has the term Old Faithful. You may want to dub certain locations on the map with specific names if they're not already named locations, and that way you can speak in shorthand to communicate faster while every single player in your team still knows what you're talking about. Teamwork is key in Warzone to securing high kill victories, and nothing is more important than when you're actively in a gunfight with another squad. Being able to clearly identify the locations of players, what weapons they're using, if they're on high ground or low ground, all the information you can provide your teammates are going to help your team win any engagement of any gunfight. And ultimately doing that is going to lead to higher kill wins on Warzone. But effective communication's not enough. You also need to know how to rotate round the map in Warzone to get the most possible kills. And you also need to use the best possible weapon. So why not check out these videos? I'll see you there, and thanks so much for watching.